When researching, I found out that I needed at least $150,000 to start my own smartwatch, and I was like, oh my goodness. I started this brand because we could not even afford an Apple Watch. Where do you think I'm going to get $150,000 from? Hello, I felt like chatting with everybody and telling you the issues that I went through, starting with the moment I decided I wanted to start Trevit up until now, and what the whole process has been, how I started the business, everything that I went through, just all of it. And this is going to take some time, so grab tea, grab coffee, grab a drink, whatever you want. It could even be wine. Grab whatever you want because this is going to take some time. I'll wait. Okay, I'm going to assume you grab a drink and I'm just going to get right into this. And at the end of the video, I will be unboxing the Trevit smartwatch myself. I know I've already posted some unboxing videos in the past. I've posted a pack with me video in the past as well. But here I will be showing you the 10 variants of the Trevit smartwatch, the accessories that it comes with, and this box literally has every single one of them. So wait till the end of the video to see what I have. If you haven't, you can check out the pinned video at the top of my profile that says why I started my own smartwatch brand, just so you can get an idea of why I did start the brand to begin with. So after I realized I wanted to start my own smartwatch brand, I began to research. I searched for hours, scoured the internet, trying to find the features that I wanted in the watch and what other people liked in a smartwatch. I also started to research how much it would cost for me to start my own smartwatch from scratch, R&D, the software itself, the manufacturing, and everything. When researching, I found out that I needed at least $150,000 to start my own smartwatch, and I was like, oh my goodness. I started this brand because we could not even afford an Apple Watch. Where do you think I'm going to get $150,000 from? And that's not even the point. $150,000 was for if I wanted an okay watch, right? If I wanted a good watch, I would be spending about $300,000. And that's not even including all of the time that it takes to manufacture the watch, to test the watch, go to the factory, do whatever I had to do. It just did not make sense to me because it was so much time and it required money that I did not have. At this point, I was already sad because I thought my dreams were over. I did not have that money and it felt like I had to scrap the whole thing. But I began to think there had to be something else that I can do. Just because I didn't have the money didn't mean that I could not create my own smartwatch brand. So I started to research more options, try to figure out if there was something else that I could do, if there were any other options out there. I had no idea. I just began to search online and I was up till 3-4 a.m. in the morning for weeks trying to figure out what to do. Along the line, I finally realized that there were some manufacturers that already had their own line of base models and that they were looking for brands to own and customize these watches. I was super excited, but the first thing that I had to do was to figure out how much this one cost because I could not afford to find something else again that would cost me an arm and a leg. But luckily for me, I found out that this would cost several $1,000s, and even though it would clear out my bank account, and at this point I was already working 2 other jobs, so in my mind I already knew that every single thing I earned from those jobs I had to put into Trevit because I did not have enough money even to work with a manufacturer that already had their own models to customize. And unfortunately, many of them were meh and didn't have the features that I expected the watches to have. And I'm not even a smartwatch person. I'm not a watch person in general. I do not wear watches. So the fact that I already saw some of these watches and I knew I would not wear them if I had to wear a smartwatch, that was a big no for me right off the bat. Some of them felt very toyish, some of them felt very plasticky, and I just did not like that. And for the others, the health tracking was just not as accurate as I wanted it to be. And finally, I came across a manufacturer that had a model that I really liked. The watch looked sleek. The watch looked amazing. It had very good features. The health tracking was awesome. And so I decided to work with them. I tested it out for a while just to make sure it was what I wanted. And again, as somebody who doesn't wear a smartwatch, I thought it was really cool, and so I decided to go for it. So I started building the brand. In the meantime, I started working on the website. I got 50 people to tell me what they thought of the website, what they thought of the watch. I got information on what they thought the pricing of the watch should be as well, what they thought of the features, and if it was something that they were going to buy. Many of them loved the watch. Many of them said they would get the watch. Some others said they preferred bigger brands because it was something that they had more trust in. And I was okay with that. I was fine. The watch isn't for everybody. Everybody has their own preferences. But most of the people that I did ask said that they thought the watch was great and that they would get it. So I decided to go for it. After I had decided that this was the watch, I decided to officially partner with that manufacturer and I got all of the documents signed. After I had signed all of the documents and everything was official, I had asked how much it would be to ship everything to me here in Canada, and I heard it was going to cost an additional several $1,000s. This was money that I just did not have because I didn't even have enough to get the watches to begin with, not to talk of shipping that many to me and having to pay more money. My bank account was already empty and I still had so many things I had to deal with. You know what? I'm going to read you everything that I had to pay for at this time. The watch models, brand design, packaging, manuals, inserts, accessories, 3D animation. And regarding the 3D animation, I was scammed by the first guy that I got to do the 3D animation on the website for me, unfortunately. So that took an additional 2 months and I had to find somebody else. My money was gone. He just took it and left. Anyway, we move, I guess. Advertisement, platform fees, shipping, insurance, legal support, warranty, taxes, and so many other things that I don't even have on here. And at this time, I was already panicking because I could not be at the factory myself to make sure that everything was going smoothly. So I was wondering what I was going to do. There were so many things that I had to do and I still had to figure out at this time. So I decided to start working on one thing at a time. Well, not actually true. I was working on so many things at once, but I decided to focus on the shipping at this point. I decided I was going to work with a 3PL company. If you don't know what 3PL is, that's third-party logistics. They deal with shipping and everything for you. You just have all of your stock with them and then they help pack and ship to your customers on your behalf. While all of this was going on, I had already started working on the packaging and I had several different options. You may have already seen a video that I posted earlier showing the different designs that I had made. I had to figure out which one I wanted to go with and what material I was going to use to make the boxes. After speaking with so many packaging manufacturers, I finally found one that kind of got the vision of what I had in mind and that I could kind of go back and forth with regarding the price, if you know what I mean, because I could not afford a lot again at this time. And again, while this was happening, I was doing so many other different things at the time. I had finally figured out what 3PL company I wanted to work with. And luckily for me, they also did operations management. So they were able to keep an eye on the factory as well for me to make sure everything was going great. I was up till 4 a.m. in the morning talking to everybody, trying to make sure everything turned out great because we're in different continents and I was tired. I was looking haggard during the day. My sleep schedule was a mess. I just wanted everything to be over with and I knew I still had so much more to do. We thank God for favor because this particular operations manager at the 3PL company that I was talking to knew another packaging manufacturer who could actually do the boxes for me cheaper. And keep in mind, I was already ready to pay the other person that I had gotten to do the boxes, but she said she could take care of it cheaper for me. And so I decided to work with her. But you know how life is, every single time something good happens, something terrible always wants to follow. I had contacted the representative of the old packaging manufacturer that I was working with to tell her that I would be working with this new one, and I apologized, and she understood because I had told her that I was already working with a really tight budget and that these new ones had given me a better deal. And after I had said goodbye to this packaging manufacturer, the newer ones came back and said that they billed me less than they should have. I was like, wait, hold up. I asked you many times, and anybody who knows me knows I'm a very anxious person and I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I asked this woman many times to make sure the pricing was right because I was going to tell the other lady that I was going forward with her. She told me she'll go back to the manufacturers and see if they'll just settle with the amounts that we had originally agreed with. And thank God again, that came through. They were like, we'll do it for you just this one time. I was like, one time? Are you planning on doing this to me again? But they were like, oh no, they'll just do this one time and everything should be good to go. The next time I have to make packages, it would be a bit more expensive. And I was like, sure, that's fine. Let's just deal with what I have right now. So everything was finally beginning to come together. The animation was done. I had finally found somebody to do the 3D animation for me. And that's what you see on the website now. That was done. I was done with the website, done with the backend, done with all of the legal stuff and everything else that I had to do. I was finally ready to start selling. And just to be sure, again, as an anxious person, I wanted to validate my idea one more time. And so I began to sell the watch in basic packaging just to see what people thought of it. And I began to have sales. I was super happy it was doing well. And I was so excited because when you start a business, you're hoping that everybody else will be happy for you, right? I was wrong. But every single time I thought things were going great, I would get people who would come to try to tear me down. I had somebody tell me, oh, your own smartwatch brand? Good luck. You know this person didn't even mean it in the best way because they were like, you starting a smartwatch brand when there are other bigger competitors out there? Yeah, right. Another person came and was like, you didn't create the watch from scratch yourself. I was like, yeah, I already told you that. Like, I had given you the whole plan, given you the breakdown of what I did and the reason why I didn't create the watch from scratch myself. And you're still coming at me telling me what I already told you. A third person had seen the watch and was like, that's the Apple Watch. You're lying. I hope you burn in hell. Oh my goodness, what didn't I go through? Like, on one hand, people were buying the watch. On the other, I had people who kept trying to tear me down and telling me things, and I would cry and I would be sad, and I'm like, oh Lord, have I made a mistake? Do I just scrap the whole thing and start again, or do something else completely? I had another person comment and tell me, well, the Apple Watch does better. Like, I know that bigger brands like Apple, Garmin, Samsung, and other big brands like that, they have really good watches. I mean, it is A grade. Their watches are really good, and that's why they're really expensive. I just wanted to give something that people could afford that still had the basic features, giving maximum quality. I was honestly just drained. My bank account was empty. My family was supporting me at this time, paying for my food, paying for my bills, because I had spent every single thing I had saved for years on this business and exhausted everything. And I was honestly just depressed because I felt like I had made a mistake and I had wasted all of the money, thousands of dollars, down the drain. But little by little, things began to look okay again. My sales were increasing. The original packaging that I had designed had gone out, and so people were commenting on that as well, which was great. And here I am. So that's what I went through to create the Trevit brand, thousands of dollars, and just a hope that it works out. And now it's finally time to unbox the watch. So this box here contains the Trevit smartwatch and the 10 band options that come with it, and the charger. This is what it looks like with a lot of bubble wrap, just so nothing gets bent during shipping. Let's start with the watch itself. The box smells so new. Anybody who sees me right now will think I'm seeing this for the first time. You know why I'm so excited? It's because we've never really been able to afford new electronic products. A lot of the time in those days, a laptop secondhand, our phone secondhand, the TV secondhand, even the watch that my mom got as a present from my uncle was secondhand because he couldn't afford a new one. So just being able to unbox something completely new myself felt really good. And you have the manual as well, and the watch. So you have your watch, you have your charger, and you have space for additional accessories so you don't keep things lying around. So this is the Trevit smartwatch, and I'll start with the silicone band. The silicone band is very, very light, and this is the black variant. The black variant is the default model and is the one that most people usually get. The bands are quick release and can be swapped in about just 10 seconds. Here's the charger, and it has two small pins that are 3mm apart. Pins are magnetic and go directly behind the Trevit smartwatch. And remember, with magnets, opposites attract and likes repel. So you have to put it in a way that attracts. If you try to put it on and it doesn't stick, that means it's in the wrong way. You have to turn it around and voila. This is the inside of the box, and it's made with EVA material, and that's ethylene vinyl acetate. It's very sturdy. There's the silicone pink band, and the camera is making it a lot lighter than it actually is. I'm not sure if you can see the actual color here, but it's a bit darker than what you see here. And this is also really nice for when I feel girly. Here's the third silicone band. We have gray, and surprisingly, when I first started selling, most people went with the gray one. I wasn't even sure why. I was expecting people to get the black, but people kept buying the gray one, and I'm not sure why, but people seem to like it a lot. And the final silicone band that we have is the blue, and now this is the one that many people like for some reason. Before, it used to be the gray one that they got a lot. People got the black as well, but now people are going for the blue. Here is the leather black, and it feels awesome. I'll take it out for you. So here's what it looks like, and it feels really good. It doesn't feel like it would crumple up anytime soon. Very solid material. And you have the brown one too. The cloud white is slightly different and also has a slightly different material, but it's also really great. Here's my favorite, the stainless steel. I love it so much because it's sleek and you can wear it with literally anything. I can dress casual, I can go to work, I can go to church and still look dapper. Stainless steel just works for me, and it's black. And finally, you have the silver stainless steel option. We are done. Thank you to everybody for your support. You have made this journey amazing for me.